In the quaint coastal town of Crescent City, California, there stands a beacon of mystery, the Battery Point Lighthouse. A stalwart sentinel, this lighthouse has been casting its guiding light since the mid-19th century, a constant amidst the ever-changing tides of time. Constructed in the year of 1856, the Battery Point Lighthouse was erected to guide mariners along the treacherous, fog-laden coast of Northern California. An architectural marvel of its time, it stood as a testament to the advances of the Victorian era and the indomitable spirit of human ingenuity. Over the years, the lighthouse has become an integral part of Crescent City's identity. It's more than just a navigational aid or a charming piece of history. It's a symbol of the town's resilience and enduring charm. But the lighthouse holds more than just historical significance. It's also a repository of tales that send shivers down the spine. Behind the sturdy facade of this lighthouse lie stories that are as captivating as they are chilling. Whispers of the supernatural echo through its hallowed halls, painting a picture of spectral presences that seem to linger within its walls. The tales speak of inexplicable phenomena, of shadows that move of their own accord, of disembodied voices that whisper in the dead of night. These eerie narrations have, over time, weaved an intricate tapestry of mystery and intrigue around the Battery Point Lighthouse. Each story adds another layer to the enigma, transforming this historical landmark into a vessel of the uncanny, a gateway into the spectral realm. As we delve deeper into the chronicles of this lighthouse, prepare yourself for a chilling journey back in time. What secrets does the Battery Point Lighthouse hold within its stone-clad walls? What spectral entities call this beacon their home? In the next scenes, we'll peel back the layers of mystery surrounding this historical marvel and attempt to shed some light on the ghostly tales that have made the Battery Point Lighthouse a beacon of the supernatural. The first whispers of the supernatural began not long after the lighthouse's establishment. In the late 19th century, the Battery Point Lighthouse in Crescent City, California, was a beacon for sailors, guiding them safely through the treacherous waters of the Pacific Ocean. But within its walls, another story was brewing, a story that transcended the realm of the ordinary and ventured into the extraordinary. The lighthouse keepers were the first to notice. They reported strange happenings that couldn't be explained by the laws of nature or logic. Doors would creak open on their own. Objects would move or disappear without any visible cause. The air would suddenly grow cold, and a sense of unease would settle over the place. It was as if unseen forces were at play, manipulating the physical world. But it wasn't just the odd occurrences that made the keepers uneasy. They also spoke of apparitions that would appear out of thin air. Some glimpsed a woman in Victorian attire, her gaze fixed on the horizon, her presence fleeting. Others saw a child playing near the rocky shore, only to vanish as they approached. There were even reports of a phantom cat, its ethereal purring echoing through the lighthouse in the dead of night. These apparitions seemed harmless, almost peaceful. But their spectral presence was a chilling reminder of the lighthouse's past and the souls that may have been left behind. The lighthouse keepers couldn't help but wonder, were these spirits the remnants of former keepers, forever bound to the lighthouse? Or were they the ghosts of shipwrecked sailors, drawn to the beacon that had failed to guide them to safety? Despite their fear and uncertainty, the keepers continued to fulfill their duties, maintaining the light that was so crucial to maritime navigation. But they couldn't shake off the eerie feeling that they were not alone, that they were being watched, that they were sharing their space with the spectral residents of the lighthouse. These perplexing incidents were just the beginning of an enduring spectral saga. The haunting of the Battery Point Lighthouse had begun, and it was far from over. As years passed, the spectral sightings at the Battery Point Lighthouse grew more frequent and more intense. The once isolated incidents morphed into a terrifying pattern, with apparitions making their presence known not just through fleeting glimpses, but through direct interactions with the living. There were chilling encounters that would leave even the bravest of lighthouse keepers and visitors shaken to their core. Some reported feeling a cold hand brushing against their skin, while others recounted being pushed by an unseen force. The most dramatic of these encounters involved a spectral figure of a man, believed to be a former lighthouse keeper, appearing in the tower's highest room. Many a visitor would climb the spiral staircase, only to be met with the apparition, who would silently point towards the sea before vanishing into thin air. Whispers and phantom footsteps echoed through the lighthouse at all hours, creating an eerie symphony of ghostly sounds. On certain nights, the tolling of a long-silenced fog bell could be heard, its mournful ring cutting through the silence like a knife. Some witnesses even claimed to have seen ghostly ships passing by the lighthouse, their spectral sails illuminated by the ethereal glow of the lighthouse beam. But perhaps the most unsettling occurrences were those involving the lighthouse's furnishings. Objects would move of their own accord, doors would slam shut without any discernible draft, and extinguished lamps would suddenly reignite, casting an otherworldly glow around the room. Despite the sheer terror these incidents induced, they also sparked a sense of fascination. People were drawn to the lighthouse, eager to experience the supernatural for themselves. The Battery Point Lighthouse had become more than just a beacon in the night. It was now a gateway to the other side, a place where the veil between the living and the dead seemed terribly thin. These events solidified the lighthouse's reputation as a hotspot for paranormal activity. Many have tried to rationalize the strange happenings at the Battery Point Lighthouse. Over the years, a myriad of theories have been proposed, each trying to explain the inexplicable. Scientific skeptics have pointed to the lighthouse's isolation and the power of suggestion. They argue that the tales of the supernatural can be attributed to the human mind's propensity to fill in the gaps of the unknown with imagination. In the deafening silence and solitude of the lighthouse, the mind can play tricks, they say. Others have cited the effects of infrasound, low-frequency sound waves that are below the threshold of human hearing. Infrasound has been linked to feelings of unease, dread, and even hallucinations, which could certainly account for some of the reported experiences. Then there are those who look to the lighthouse's past for answers. The Battery Point Lighthouse has been standing since the mid-19th century, weathering countless storms and guiding numerous ships to safety. It has seen its share of tragedy. Some believe that the spirits of shipwrecked sailors or past lighthouse keepers linger, bound to the lighthouse by their unfinished business or their love for the sea. Local legends also offer their own explanations. Native American lore tells of ancient spirits that dwell along the coastline, their ethereal presence intertwined with the natural elements. Others spin yarns of cursed treasure hidden near the lighthouse, its spectral guardians warding off intruders. Of course, there are those who simply believe that the Battery Point Lighthouse is a beacon not just for lost ships, but for lost souls as well. They see the paranormal activity as evidence of the lighthouse's unique connection to the other side, a bridge between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Despite numerous attempts to demystify the occurrences, the Battery Point Lighthouse continues to baffle and bewitch. Whether it's the play of shadows in the lantern room, the eerie whispers in the wind, or the phantom footsteps on the stairs, the mysteries of the Battery Point Lighthouse persist, captivating the curious and the brave. Today, the Battery Point Lighthouse stands as a fascinating testament to the town's eerie past. Over a century and a half since its establishment, the lighthouse has become more than just a beacon for ships. It's a beacon for those drawn to the unexplained, the ethereal, the spine-chilling lore of yesteryears. The lighthouse, with its weathered facade and towering structure, is an iconic sight to behold. It has etched its silhouette not only against Crescent City's skyline, but also in the hearts of the townsfolk and the numerous visitors who flock to its base. A palpable sense of awe and intrigue surrounds this place, a testament to its enduring allure. Simultaneously, the Battery Point Lighthouse serves as a popular tourist destination. It's not just the panoramic vistas or the charming Victorian architecture that attracts the crowds. It's the whispers of the paranormal, the tales of ghostly apparitions, and the promise of a chill down the spine that truly draw in the curious and the brave. Every creak of the wooden stairs, every gust of wind, every flicker of the light adds a layer to the enigma that is the Battery Point Lighthouse. Reports of eerie encounters continue to circulate even today, as modern-day visitors recount experiences that echo the chilling tales of the past. An inexplicable cold spot, a fleeting shadow, a feeling of being watched. These are the stuff of legends that keep the lighthouse's haunted reputation alive. The lore of the Battery Point Lighthouse transcends the boundaries of skepticism and belief. It has become a part of the town's cultural fabric, a folklore that adds a dash of mystery to the everyday life in Crescent City. And as these tales are passed down from one generation to the next, the lighthouse's haunted legacy remains as strong as ever. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, one thing is certain: the haunting legacy of the Battery Point Lighthouse lives on. With each passing day, the lighthouse stands resolute, its spectral stories forever etched in its stone walls, continuing to captivate the hearts and minds of those who dare to venture into its intriguing past.